Hi, I'm Diane, and today we're going to continue talking about money. Money is something we all need. And in the previous episode, I mentioned that, money's not bad and money's not good. Whatever is in your heart, money becomes, because money takes on your personality. So let me talk about, I want to give my mom thanks, because my mom had given me these pearls. You know, they're pearls, bracelet, and these necklaces, and these earrings. Thank you, Mom. You're so special. I love you. So, well, let me go a step further with you about money. Not only does your money take on your personality, but your money is your life. I'm like, what do you mean by that? Don't turn me off because I didn't say something like, you haven't heard it before. But your money is your life. And let me give you an example. Let's say that you work for the company you work for, whether it's Google, Apple, Walmart, or any place. When you come to the end of the week and you worked your 40 hours and they give you your paycheck and they give you your money. Now, I'm going to say something, and don't get hurt over this, but they're not paying you for your good looks. They're paying you for the amount of your life that you laid down for that company. And that money represents 40 hours of your life. So let me tell you something else. So think about this a little bit different when you think about money. Let's say you're going to go buy an automobile. Don't think that you are going to buy an automobile with these little slips of green paper. That's not what's happening. You're laying down your life for that money to buy that automobile. Same thing when you buy a house. Don't let the enemy trick you into thinking, I'm buying that house with little slips of green paper. That's not what's happening. I want you to think a little bit differently about money. You are buying that house with your life, the amount of your life that you lay down for these little slips of green paper to purchase that house. So you could say your money is your life. And your money is your life. And I'm going to take it even a step further with you, okay? What happens when the sons and daughters of God, when that offering plate comes by? Now, I know everything's like online now, and people give text giving and online giving, but think about it. I mean, there's some of the countries in third world, they actually bring their donations to the front, whether it's rice or cattle or whatever, or clothes. Some of them even give clothes. I was hearing a listener message today. But when you lay down your life, this offering plate, or however you give, is the lives of the sons and daughters of God who are laying down their lives with the finances to see the gospel of Jesus Christ spread across the world or to others who need to hear the good news. So this money represents your life. Just an idea to think about money differently. So let me tell you this. Not only is your money your life, but your money is your life given back to you. Listen to this. In a superior form. What do you mean superior form? Well, if I was to come to work for any of the, let's say a pastor here, I work for a ministry, and let's say I went to work for my church, and I said, pastor, I know how to do hospital calls, I can vacuum the carpet, I can mow the grass, well, I maybe hire somebody to do that one, but I could do counseling. But, if the pastor wanted me to mow the lawn, vacuum the carpet, do counseling, and go to the hospital calls all at the same time, I couldn't do it. Because in my human form, I'm only one-dimensional. I can't be everywhere all at the same time. But if I could turn my life into enough surplus money, what I believe in my heart can be distributed to people around the world. For example, I can turn lights on in an auditorium in Ohio. I can feed a missionary in the Philippines. I can help girls with the, sex trafficking. Stop that. I can fund an orphanage. I mean, I could go on and on. I can do all these things and not physically go there because I have been empowered. Money has a superior form and it can go where I can't go. Some places I'll never go. So that's why if I can turn my life into enough surplus money, if you can turn your life into enough surplus money, what you and I believe in our hearts can be shouted from the rooftops around the world, and Jesus can be Lord. So let me take it another step further with you. Why doesn't the devil want us to have money? Those that believe in God, that is. Because he knows that when the church breaks forth in the abundance that God speaks of, and let me say this, the abundance that God speaks of, and for the purpose that God speaks of, the devil's kingdom is gone. I mean, it is finished. Let me give you a verse for that. It's in Deuteronomy 8:18. But here's my King James Version. But I'll try to change it up. But you shall remember the Lord your God, for it is he that giveth you power to get wealth. Now, the verse doesn't stop there. It goes on to say that he may establish his covenant on this earth. Now, I know covenant is a big word. We don't hear a lot about that talking, and I'm going to cover that more in other sessions. But for now, we know that God has a purpose for this money, and it really is to establish his covenant, to get his word out, to tell people that Jesus is Lord. Jesus has saved them. Jesus is the reason for the season. Jesus is the reason for the money. That was a good one. Jesus is the reason for the money. I'm just saying, people in Ecclesiastes 10:19, it says, a feast is made for laughter and wine maketh merry, but money answers all things. I was telling my friend the other day when I needed something, I'm like, I think money really does answer all things. It does in some cases, but it may not in all cases. But it does give you the ability to fund what you want to fund and do what you want to do. And there's one last point that I want to bring up, and that's in Ecclesiastes 9:13-16. Because the devil's plot is to keep Christians poor. So they don't have anything, they don't have any money, and they have a poverty mindset. But that is not scriptural, because it says in Ecclesiastes 9:13-16, the wisdom have I seen also under the sun, and it seemed great to me. There was a little city, a few men within it, and there came a great king that besieged against it, and great bulwarks against it. Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city. Yet no man remembered that poor man. Why? Because then it said, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. That's why. Because the devil doesn't want the church to anybody to listen to him, because he knows when the church breaks forth in the abundance that God speaks of, for the purpose that God speaks of, the devil's end is in sight. Remember, nobody listens to poor people. And God has an answer. He's given you power to get wealth for a purpose. And that purpose is to establish a covenant. And we're going to cover that in other episodes. So thank you. I hope this has helped you think of money a little bit differently. Thank you for joining me, and please subscribe to the channel, share it with a friend, and use your money for the purposes that God speaks of. We're going to cover more in the future. In the meantime, have an epic day in the Lord.